Hey, how you doing there, Cowboy Nation? How's everybody feeling? All right, we're here on Sunday for episode 6, and just loving you guys. I'm going to ask you if you like the content that we're bringing to you and what we're trying to do with this, with consciousness, and just giving you some freedom. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and share. That's the Cashapp on the bottom if you want to contribute for these beautiful clothes that we're wearing. Help us pay so it ain't like this. We can take them to the cleaners. Go and hit that Cashapp. Appreciate your support. I'm G-Look, and this is Cream Rises, and this is the Conscious Consultant. So what we like to do is give you a little perspective on how to peel back the layers of a lot of bullshit that you've probably been simmering in your whole life, dealing with different things, car notes, the Lakers, how sorry they are, your car's messed up, it's, maybe somebody you're in love with is vertically challenged and you don't want to be seen like with a midget or something like that. You can have anything that could come up, But today, for me, first of all, how you doing there, G?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying you right now.
Oh. So I'm the relic. I'm the old man, coming to you just from an old perspective, and this is a generation. What generation you guys?
I believe I'm generation X, Z, or X. One of those.
Is that a millennial?
No, actually, I'm a millennial. Generation X is before me. I think that's Grant. So your younger brother, by the way, I don't know who Grant is, but I believe I'm a millennial. I just always try to deny it. I don't know why. Maybe it's a spiritual thing, but I'm a millennial.
Is that the same as like a trans that's saying I'm not gay? I'm just a trans, but I'm not gay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So old people like me, you're a millennial. Okay. If you're younger than 35, we call Z's millennials. So we just
yeah.
But anyway,
it's all the same after a certain year.
Yeah, that shit all merges together.
Yeah.
I am Pepsi generation. I don't know what they call us.
You a boomer.
Boomer, baby boomer.
You a baby boomer.
Yeah. But at some point, it's just an old ass nigga.
Yeah. Well, you the youth of your age group. Let's put it like that.
Oh no, I appreciate that.
That's why we right here.
Yeah. Looks good on the outside. You split that shit up and look at all that black liver and them kidneys and shit. You know how old I am. But so anyway, you guys have been tuning in. We've been getting some feedback, and we'd like to touch on subjects that are happening within our community. I like to say the cowboy community because that's pretty much the cornerstone of the people that follow me and the G-Look Corral. And so we also have other people that tune in from other communities. We have a lot of Asians. I mean, it's surprising the type of people that are tuning in. So again, hit the like, subscribe. If you have subjects for us, just go ahead and hit us in the DM and just let us know what you'd like us to talk about. So this week, right after New Year's, my mom took a turn for the worse, and really just the emergency room and everything that we had to go through, I had to really take a good look at death. It's a part of life. I call myself ready to deal with it, but like Tyson said, everybody want to be a fighter till you get punched. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with hospitals, emergency room, another person, and the responsibility of it, you start thinking about how are you going to process death. And I know a lot of you guys have sent it in to us about dealing with a son or a loved one or someone younger than you that was killed, or a sister or somebody that you had to deal with death. And for me, just to open the floor before G starts to speak on that, on how we can possibly deal with that, you feel guilt if you have not lived your life in full freedom and in God's purpose. You feel guilt. I don't feel any guilt. I used to feel guilt when people around me, loved ones, would pass away. But you'll feel guilt. You'll feel anxiety. You'll feel fear. You start looking at your own life. Damn, if that motherfucker died, that means I might die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But I'm really gonna die because that dude really just died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, in saying all that, just wanted to get some perspective on how do you look at death, and how do you see the best, highest place to be at when dealing with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, we talking about a topic that seems to be final for everyone. We know it's gonna happen. First and foremost, my dynamics, we use this word death for the ending of the physical body for people, and so that's something that that's a concept that we've been programmed, and we have ideas of what that entails, whether it's a car accident or something tragic like that we think is drastic, or whether it's in their sleep or whatever, we call that death. So first and foremost, I think the assumption, we already off track assuming that we know what that is, because you haven't did it, or if you have did it in a lifetime before, you don't remember it.
Right.
So you already in a whole different playing field, because you assuming that you know what's happening with that person, and you assume that you know what that experience is if you don't remember from another lifetime. For dynamics, we live lifetimes from my spiritual experience. So right off there, I always like to talk to people about that. You assuming something that's been programmed already, so you coming at it thinking it's already programmed for it to be something that is a mourning or a negation to existence, right? So based upon what you know. So first I would start there, and that's just somewhere to start. Second, it's one of those things where when we understand our life and what our life has led to, we know that there's something more happening in this place than just the physical experience. Now, obviously, when this physical experience ends, there is people meant things to you. They mean things in this place to you, as far as what they represent, the comfort they give, and that's all a blessing. But we are here for a higher purpose, and I feel like everyone has that in their heart to a degree. They know that. They might not want to call it God or different names to the divine, and different names for something, but everybody know in those moments when you have nothing, you know what you say. Oh my God, you say, oh my, the thing that I don't know, that's more. However you say that, right? And so I feel like these moments, back to bring it home right now to a practicality, what's going on with you with who is actually my grandma, by the way. This is my dad. But it's to understand those things, because what it does is give us space to understand that this is transitory, to understand that we are spirit, to understand it gives us space to connect with that person in ways we haven't, to understand how they're experiencing it truly. Gives us ways to take our roles and what we thought we were supposed to be for that person off, so we could be naked in front of each other and understand what's really what. It gives us ways to see something higher than what we thought the place was about. Right. And also allows us to venture into the unknown, because what we thought we know kept us comfortable. Right. And what we've been presented has kept us comfortable or trapped in a way that we thought that was. So it is supposed to bring up and rustle some feathers within ourselves. That's natural. And I feel like what we use is death. I don't even use that word. I use transition or ascension, or you know what I mean, something like that, transmutation, blissing out. I like ascension better, because I feel like it's an ascension out of the body. Obviously, there's ways that seem more drastic that happens, or it seems untimely, and I understand where that could cause a little bit more, but even that is still bringing something to the light. So if our heart is willing to see that deeper, we can see that this opens up dimensions that are more spacious for us to even see things higher when these type of things are happening.
So let me ask you a question. Based on that, and podcasters, I swore I wasn't gonna say, let me ask you a question, when that's the whole shit is about asking questions. So I don't know why I just said that, but anyway. Question. You just had a baby. He's 2 years old. You done bonded with the baby. The helicopter blade falls off and chops his head off. Right. Pookie can't shoot. Yeah. Shoots the baby. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or a person dies in your family and cousins start showing up, going all in the safe, fucking the will up, getting it notarized on the deathbed, trying to get the money. So you're surrounded with other things added onto just the loss. Right. Right. Can we precondition ourselves to accept even that? Can we? Because in the black community, we face death, tragic death a lot. Right. A lot of shootings, a lot of high blood pressure, a lot of clutching the heart. Abrupt death. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like we mundane to it. You know, but we deal with all the other shit that comes with it. So to bliss out, you want to be happy for somebody, especially if you think they're not gonna come back to this motherfucker. You feel like that death is gonna happen,
right?
And they're not gonna come back,
right?
Then you happy for them. You should be,
right?
You know, but you know, you peek out the back window and two of your cousins just hopping the fence so they can go and look at that '64 Chevy that Big Mama left, shit like that. So your mind is just on,
right?
On some, no, that's fine. That's fine. Our staff is worried about that. The light is on there. But anyway, and thanks for our staff. You know, shouts out to Jay and Gray Area and all of our team.
Yeah, we did.
Again, this is Cream Rises, and we just coming to you and just talking to you. So hit the like, subscribe. But that's the question.
Right.
How do you prepare yourself?
Everything that comes with that.
Yeah.
So in my dynamics and in my experience, I think we talked about this before, but we let the viewers know this. Life feels overwhelming because we look at the surface of life and we see 5 volcanoes.
Okay.
But the 5 volcanoes in that area have one magma source.
Okay.
So what happens is our mind is so into problem solving and survival that it goes, there's 5 volcanoes. How could I ever quench 5 volcanoes before they erupt? So basically, you asking me one-offs that happen off of what we call a thing that would happen called death.
Oh, okay.
Right,
okay.
and which are legitimate questions, but because the mind is overcomplicated, it doesn't understand that those 5 volcanoes are equivalent to one source, one magma chamber. So I'm talking about going to the magma chamber, which is the source to all those 5 volcanoes.
Right.
Which this one would lessen, this one would just drip, this one might just smoke, and these 2 might not ever go off.
Right.
And you understand that all those are there for a purpose, and you will be able to handle all those in the way that you'll see that everything that's happening is expanding a dimension for you to see something higher. Everything is like that. Then you won't feel like the volcanoes are fire. You'll feel like they're part of the purpose of what's going on in life and the bigger purpose. You start to see higher than just negating life.
That's it.
You're accepting what your lot is because you realize that life is your guru. You know, life is your guru, and you have beings in your life that can reflect that to you. You get, you lose, things come, things go.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's all beautiful. It's meant to be this way because this physical life is. Let's think about it. Let's get to the nitty gritty. A long life. Is like what 80 to 90 years, right? Some people live a bit longer than that, obviously, but on numbers wise, like if you in between 75 and 90, that's long,
right?
So you know that if this was all of existence, that ain't 75 years, 80 years, it's over. so you know that it can't be everything, right? I don't care what everybody talking about. Like it can't be everything because it's too short, right? It don't even make sense, right? And then the way that it's set up, even if it was everything, it feels too imperfect to be everything.
It does.
So you know that this has to be a transitory experience,
right?
Everybody knows it. It's just people don't. The way that we experience God is a level for us to know that when we're here to know that. So we have things happen that are like fires in our life to press upon and burn off so we can understand what's real. Okay. And our mind will tell us that we won't be able to bear it, but you can. Because when in that you see the thing that you said, thing that I call God or what's higher than I think is happening here, you will see that thing in that.
Right.
So when we break it down like that, we understand it doesn't take away from your purpose here, what you're doing here, your job, or what you building buildings or creating cities or helping people or having a family. That's all part of your karma and your lot here, and you enjoy those joys. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a reason why you can have a kid and that kid could go. And it's the reason why you can have a job and that job could just end. There's a reason why you can have be on a football team and then all love and respect and everything. What's the football player's name for the Bills? It was the Bills, right? Yeah. All love and respect and grace to him. But it's the reason why you could be a star safety and then maybe never play again. If his life was about this player, football and all that, then he would. God is always showing us that it's more than this. Always. And it doesn't have to always be drastic like that. But sometimes it's abrupt a lot for most people here, and we support each other with these words. we comfort each other with love, but also with truth. And the truth is, ain't no truth gonna really comfort nobody till they see God in everything.
That's true.
You supposed to doubt like that. Everybody doubting till they not doubters. You supposed to doubt like that because that brings more glory to it when you actually see it. You like, damn, I know now because I was doubting the whole time. Like I was kind of seeing. Yeah. So all these situations are set up as ways for you to see higher, see God. Now I know there's particulars in all of this. There's things in the everydays of life. There's things that are necessary for the pattern of your life and the lot of your life. And I'm not saying don't address those according to how you're wired. Right. But that changes even how those affect you when you're coming from this space.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a generation, and that's good stuff, where my generation, our parents are dying if they haven't died. We're dealing with that. We're also dealing with our own mortality because our generation is the ones that used to smoke in the locker room, drink Coca-Cola when you're thirsty. You play football, you ask water, coach call you a pussy because you want water. I come from a generation that, Cocoa Smacks for breakfast. We all know that,
drink all that, drink it up.
Trick for kids. How many licks does it take? Every commercial's about some
Everything
sugar.
Was a thing.
Yeah, the Marlboro Man. Drinking that public water. So I come from a generation we dying too early from the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Right, so when I look left and right of me, I'm only 62 years old, and my peers are dying, and our mamas and daddies is dying.
It's a lot.
Plus, we was just worried about y'all.
Right.
Y'all crazy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, y'all on
they gonna make it.
Yeah, y'all doing mushrooms and let me try this. What's Molly and shit. So death is coming. Yeah. And we get to see, damn, death is coming.
Right.
So the first selfish notion is, am I gonna die? And then secondly, dang, that's cold. That nigga didn't even, that person didn't even enjoy something that we think they should have enjoyed or something. We put our value on them. You know what I'm saying? So I ascribe to, once you come out the womb, it's all fair.
Yeah.
You could die in the incubator. I got a little granddaughter that's only 2 weeks old. Or you could die at the thing. My mama 85. Or you could die making a left turn. Before we start filming the show, we just heard a horrendous accident right outside the studio. I'm sure while we were setting up, they didn't know that they was gonna die. Or hit it, whatever. So death is final here, but I don't look at it as a final place. I look at it as a release of your spirit and your soul.
Exactly.
Especially your soul.
And I wanna comment on something too, because I think there's two dynamics to what we call death. Like I said, I don't really use that word too much. I think it's a program. Death is a program, not because it's just a sound, but because of how the human experience is operated, that we automatically attach what we've been shown what that is to our experience of it, even if we're not experiencing it. Okay. So, for instance, if someone said death and everything you ever saw for death has always been someone getting their head cut off, right? Or something like you gonna associate death with trauma, right? And I'm not saying that some may not seem to be that way, but I'm gonna let you know right now that you don't know what that person's experiencing, first of all, in it, and your relationship with these type of concepts determine how you experience them, right? As well too. So it's like I'm gonna be a little I listened to a podcast where a guy had got attacked by a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear crushed his head and his eyeballs popped out, crushed his face, everything. He was in and out of consciousness. And when he tells the story, first of all, he sounds so joyful when he's talking about it. He can't see no more and all that kind of stuff. They reconstructed his face, but in the experience, he said, there's a bear bit down in my face. I didn't feel no pain. I went into the bliss. I went into the light, and I kept going in and out of the light, and I didn't feel nothing. And then after, when I was back here, I felt some the pain or whatever when they got me. So I want to let you know, so say that he would have just died then on that. His experience would have been that happened and then light. And he seemed like something else happened with him, because when he came back, he was you could tell he's full of joy. He knew that oh, nothing really could, like, nothing here could really, like, he saw that, he needed that experience. So, depending on how you wire, how you experience it, some people might look at that and be like, damn, oh, but for him, he probably like, damn, I'm probably glad that happened because it showed me what's really what. And we all have in our life happen what need to happen for us to see what's what. Okay. And so what we can't do is take a burden that's not ours. We support the people around us that we love, but God gave them their lot for their lot, and we support them, and we don't take mentated grief because we think we're supposed to be grieving something because we don't feel like we love them.
So when we go to the funeral, the big old fat loud preacher is saying while they humming in the back that he had a chance to talk to the person who's in that coffin just before he died. And he know that he has come to grips his whole life with the God, right? Right. When he says that. Yeah. And then the fat girls going up yonder. They start singing "Going Up Yonder," just pulling the tears out of everybody, fucking with everybody, right? Making everybody have one accord of how they see the death. You know, to me, it's always been an act. So, like you said, everybody has their own way that they deal with death and what an experience is. Right. So if me personally, the head couldn't cut off, or somebody getting shot, or somebody just eating the wrong food and dying or whatever, is not the thing. You know, it's always been the thing after that, how people do each other. Right. With the process of knowing that death is a beautiful thing. Jesus did come to conquer that, so we'll be fearful of death, especially if we walking in how we're supposed to walk.
So let's end in that then. Let's talk about that, because I think that's what you was leading. Your question been leading, which is beautiful. So we went through the actual experience of that to now the aftermath for the people that's left behind and what they carry and what that does. I recently had someone that's really close to me. I'm not gonna say no names because they want to keep it private, but I had someone very, very close to me, one of my closest people, talk to me about someone that's close to him that they think that person might go soon. It might transcend soon, and they wanted to know. There's like, I got my brothers and my sisters. I know kind of I'm in a space where I understand, but I want to talk to them. The person that I think is going, I want to talk to my family, my brothers and my sisters and all that. And I just feel like it's a lot of weight of how people look at it, and I gotta care. And I understand what you're saying. So we can't avoid certain physical appearances in this place, but we can bring something that people don't know exists to it. Okay. And so for me,
would that be the cream?
That's the cream rises. The cream rises.
I'm just a silly motherfucker.
Nah, that's good. That's good. That's why you know, like you said. But so I would say that, and so one thing I would say to that is if we utilize the experience that we call death or transitioning, especially if you have, I'm not talking about abrupt because you don't have time, but if you have time as a way to absolve your contracts, everything's a spiritual contract with every person you've ever been with, every person that you have any kind of ties to in any way, the person been with intimately or whatever, those are contracts, right, of spirituality for us to see. It's all just part of our path. And so part of the grief that comes in the aftermath and all the stuff that comes with someone passing away and all that, and all that, whatever, and the weirdness and all that is because people don't feel like they got a chance to absolve their contract, say what was really what they really meant, or just get over some shit. Yeah. And I understand that some things can go over. You can just go over without having to do that. And then some things you got to go through. I feel like most beings got to go through a lot of shit. Like not over. Most people that got had experience, right? They got to be like, damn, I got to talk to you. I got to have that. Like that's just, because the point is seeing God. Once you see God, then there's a lot of things that's not necessary, right? So, but the point is,
say it again.
The point is to see the source of all things and be one with it and understand why you incarnated. Once you know that, there's a lot of experiences that aren't necessary for you because that's the purpose of this place.
The point is to see God.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. So so what I said back to that person, that being is,
I feel like we dancing with these motherfuckers. Point is to see God.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying.
That's the point. The point is to see God. So once we know those absolutions, it makes everything else easier. We not to get like, it's not a religious thing, but I use references because there's religion is a way to couch certain concepts. So we go
highness, see the
see,
ultimate glory.
Right. So one of my favorite beings is Jesus. I relate to that being. That's a brother. That's our brother that was an example for us of how to see shit here. To me, just like Buddha is, just like, and it's different other beings. But in the Bible it says you're gonna have many trials here, but when you know God, you bear them with joy.
Yeah.
It says when you know God, you bear everything in this place with joy in your heart, because you understand that you're proven golden to God and as God and one with God and with your brothers and sisters, because this place is just for that. And I know it's full on. The experience is full on. We full on senses. I'm not saying that if you come and hit me right now, I might not feel that. Right? We full on. But what it means to me is gonna be different. And I might not feel that shit. Yeah. I might not feel it.
Yeah.
Because it's levels and there's degrees to this. So anyway, back to the point is, what I'm saying is, we here to see that, to see God, to know those things, and in His experience, it's so many intricacies seemingly, because it's a mental projected realm. Right. So many cul-de-sacs and avenues and things it's cities and just buildings and ocean. It's crazy, right? But and it's all beautiful. It's all perfect for what it is. But it's all a setting to see God. Right. I mean, if you live long enough and you have any kind of wherewithal, you've been in different places and everything, but you are still you. You could not escape you. In the Bahamas, in Florida, at that job, you can't escape you. And where you are is your relation to God. That's the definition of you. How your proximity to what we call God, the divine, the source, the absolute, the ultimate, is what you are.
Yeah. All right, so we didn't hit y'all a little bit over the head with that one, because as we say, and it's Sunday, like for y'all tuning in, please, if you like what we're pouring into you or receiving back, hit us in the comments. It's good. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. But dealing with death is dealing with yourself. It seems like that's what the button in the button. I'm hearing that your experience with death is individually different for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. If I want to end and just bring it back home, be of good cheer and be a good hope. I know I went some absolutions, but even practicality in everyone's individual human experiences. Just know that everyone's experiencing it the way they're supposed to experience it. So you should feel. Be of good cheer if you're a loved one and something's happening like that, and know that God had a contract with them to have that happen the way it happened. So you shouldn't be overwhelmed with sorrow and guilt and resentment. You can have you can grieve in a holy way, meaning like, man, I loved you, I'm gonna miss that person, but it's ultimately opening your vibration, because that being, once they get there, will want you to be open to God, because that's the point. Because once they're done, they know already, and so. You need to understand that even if let's say it's go for all levels, if you have some kind of attachments and stuff like that in this place, just see it from that place. Give yourself opportunity and space to dive in, to understand and be available for that, so you can see that, because that grief will overwhelm the point of the place for you, and you're not here to be in sorrow over people transitioning and leaving. You're here to grieve them and then be open again for more.
Well, what we'll do on that note, we'll leave you with that. That's the Conscious Consultant, and like you say, we can't even get no more real than that. But we can go deeper into other subjects, and we can expound on that. So your comments are welcome. We really appreciate the way you guys are sharing this with other people and subscribing and liking us. I mean, we're very encouraged, So we're gonna try to give it to you. It ain't always gonna be so morbid. But it's always gonna end up the same. This is
talking about death. So
that's right. It's always it ain't morbid. Death is a real thing, but that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around and my arms around and my mind around what's going on with my mom. So that was the subject. So in saying that, we just want to leave y'all with praises to you and thank you and a warm greeting from us. Yeah. And I just know that at the end of the day, the cream is always gonna rise.
Cream gonna rise.
See, you like to blame them onions when you cry, but you so sweet now them onions caramelized. You been asleep, I guarantee I open eyes. Warrants and warranties I can't pronounce. Yeah, I showed up in this world unannounced. Solid gold was the throne I renounced. Lost myself just to